Today is one of the most memorable days in my life, a day of celebration, a day of reflection, and a day of sharing my big dream, convinced that our minds create our worlds. I dream of a just world where human rights are respected, where no one sleeps hungry or lacks healthy food, and where people live in peace and harmony in the spirit of Ubuntu. I am because we are. I grew up in Kiambu, a beautiful, serene rural county that neighbors Nairobi. We undertook subsistence farming, primarily to feed ourselves. We shared food with those around us, guided by biblical principles of love, benevolence, and peace. That was my introduction to the values of Ubuntu and social justice. I started considering a career in promoting justice as a child. In the last 2 decades, working with the African Population and Health Research Center, I have conducted extensive research amongst the urban poor in Nairobi. I have been exposed to different vulnerabilities of the urban poor. I have met many hungry people. I have seen malnourished children. Did you know that 80% of households in Nairobi Nairobi informal settlements are food insecure, and that 50% of children below 5 years are actually stunted? My childhood thoughts regarding promoting justice have been awakened, and today include the promotion of human rights. It is 2020, and our world has really changed. Nairobi is no longer the place of cool waters, as its name literally means in Ma language, of the language of its indigenous inhabitants, the Maasai people. Owing to rapid urbanization amidst poor urban planning, Nairobi is now an environmentally degraded urban space. Majority of residents live in informal settlements, characterized by high population density, poverty, personal insecurity, and food insecurity and malnutrition. This is despite the fact that there is a lot of food loss in farms, markets, and households. The green spaces that once gave Nairobi the tagline, "Green City in the Sun," have generally been replaced by a concrete jungle that is already encroaching into the neighboring counties like Kiambu that feed it. Kenya is urbanizing at a fast rate, and the population in Nairobi is projected to triple by 2050. Capitalism has diluted our values. It has driven the commodification of food, where food must cost money, and many poor people without money are hungry. The spirit of Ubuntu has since faded. Food is no longer something that we generally share. The need to maximize on the commodity has pushed many farmers to unsafe use of agricultural chemicals. Our food is now processed into an often unhealthy commodity. Many farmers who feed the world are themselves hungry. They cannot afford the commodity they produce. There is no food justice anymore. We are in the middle of a global pandemic. The unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic has paralyzed many economies the world over. Many families are facing hunger. Mothers cooking stones for their children is not a tale. Sadly, it is a documented reality in Kenya. The pandemic has worsened the broken food system in our world. But all is not lost. 2020 is a defining year where we get to draw the future we want, guided by the past and driven by a sense of justice for humanity. I have a dream. I am persuaded by the words of the late Nelson Mandela that there is no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. I dream of a green, beautiful, food-secure Nairobi, a place of cool waters where people are well nourished and healthy and live in harmony and peace in the spirit of Ubuntu. For us to achieve this audacious dream, we need a paradigm shift, a shift from sheer capitalism to social justice, to promote equity and justice for all. We need to reconceptualize food, to return food to its value. The world needs to see food as food, a basic human need, a basic universal human right that should be accessed by all. We need to decommodify food. We need to recommodify food so that it is accessible to all. I imagine a city where everyone across the socioeconomic divide has a kitchen garden, in the backyard, on the balcony, on the rooftop, with organically grown, safe and healthy food, enough for themselves and for sharing in their neighborhood. I imagine a city where fruit trees form part of the city landscaping canopies of mangoes, avocados, and guavas. As the late Nobel Prize winner Wangari Maathai once said, when we plant trees, we plant seeds of peace and seeds of hope. Food loss will be a thing of the past because in the dream lie a sustainable circular food economy. Food rescue centers in and around the city will ensure excess food in farms, households, and markets is efficiently redistributed to where it is needed so as to promote equity and reduce food waste. I dream of an equitable Nairobi where everyone is economically empowered. Agribusiness in the food system will contribute to job creation for women and youth. In 10 short years, we should have achieved the Sustainable Development Goal of zero hunger. And in 30 years, returned Nairobi to a place of cool waters, encouraged by the belief that by the famous Kenyan marathoner, Eliud Kipchoge, that no human is limited. We forge with determination. I want to live to see this dream become a reality and to be counted as one of the leaders that actualize it. I will tell of the dream that transformed our society to include and preserve the human values of Ubuntu, social justice, equity, and respect for human rights. The dream that regenerated the ecosystem to mitigate climate change and restored peace and harmony in Nairobi. Beyond the foreseeable lifetime of my dream, future generations will enjoy the fruits of the dream. Beyond Nairobi, cities world over will replicate and live the dream. Today, I celebrate because I stand here as a top visionary in the Rockefeller Foundation 2050 Vision Prize. My vision is to restore Nairobi to a place of cool waters through a regenerative, transformative, human-centered food system. Today, I graduate with a law degree from the University of Nairobi with a special focus on human rights to add to my toolkit for justice promotion. I am excited. I feel empowered and ready to lead the vision. Today, with my team, we launch the vision. Within the next 10 years, as we march towards zero hunger by 2030, we will green Nairobi with food and fruit trees through agroeconomical urban farming. We will put in place a food rescue system to ensure no one is hungry. We will equitably create jobs for women and youth in urban poor settings in Nairobi through agribusiness and create a right to food movement to promote the vision. As a starting point, on Mother's Day this year, I started a kitchen garden as a demonstration to others. With my team, we are looking out for partners to help us to actualize this vision, acknowledging that we cannot do this alone. My call is to all of us, the people, the policymakers, the civil society, the media, the researchers, and the donors, all to join me in actualizing this vision. Thank you.